Stumbling home, we don't know where we're going. Should've turned back hours ago. Out of our minds, I guess we're sleeping outside. You're still a good time, even in the cold.
Hello, welcome to Defender Adventure. We are Paul and Chrissy from the UK, and with our Land Rover Defender that we have called Stirling, we are travelling the world.
Guess we need a new plan. There's a motel a mile down the road.
Hello and welcome. Bear with me a minute. I'm just finishing the fiddly task of replacing the brake pads on all four wheels. While we watch that good-looking chap fit the tyre, I will bring you up to speed with how we came to be at a vacation rental property near to Big Bear in the San Bernardino National Forest. You may remember at the end of our last video that after a failed attempt to camp in Death Valley National Park due to high winds, we ended up here for a few days. While in Vegas, we studied the weather forecast and found that the best looking area was at the very south of Arizona. So off we went to the Coronado National Forest.
Walking away, your words are lost on me. It's taking everything not to turn around. Throw it away. See if you'll let go of me when you're not holding me. I can see it now.
After a few sunny and wind-free days in the south of Arizona, we decided to be brave and move further north.
I'm like, oh shit, I've been doing this a long time. Lost in my head, I don't care, I'm not gonna lose it. I'm not gonna lose this. I'm up all day, all night.
About 225 million years ago, this area was a lowland with tropical climate and covered by a dense forest. Rivers flooded by tropical rainstorms washed mud and other sediments into the lowlands. Enormous coniferous trees up to 9 feet in diameter and 200 feet tall lived and died in these lowlands. Fallen trees and broken branches were often buried by the river sediments. Petrified wood is a fossil. It forms when plant material is buried by sediment and protected from decay by oxygen and organisms. Groundwater, rich in dissolved solids, flows through the sediment. The result is a fossil of the original woody material that often exhibits preserved details of the bark, the wood and cellular structures. Some specimens of petrified wood are such accurate preservations that people do not realise they are actually fossils until they try and pick them up.
Non più tra i farfalloni amoroso, notte e giorno d'intorno girando, delle belle turbando al riposo, Narcisetto Adoncino d'amor. Delle belle turbando al riposo, Narcisetto Adoncino d'amor.
In addition to the petrified wood, there was some fascinating geology and some scenic views, which, all in all, gave us a most enjoyable visit. Given that moving north worked well for us last time, we decided to give it another try, this time to Canyon de Chelly.
Quella chioma, quell'aria brillante, non chiudrai farfalloni amoroso, notte e giorno d'intorno girando.
The canyon lies in the heart of the Navajo Nation in northeastern Arizona. With its spectacular sheer wall canyons and numerous ancestral Puebloan dwellings nestled at the base of towering cliffs or sometimes perched in shallow caves, this national monument offers breathtaking views like that of a smaller Grand Canyon.
Poco cantante, poco cantante, poco cantante, ed invece del fandango una marcia per...
Members of the Navajo community continue to live in the canyon, raising crops, tending flocks of sheep, and cultivating peach orchards.
Cannoni che le porre tutti i tuoni all'orecchio fan fischiar. Non più avrai quei pennacchini, non più avrai quel cappello, non più avrai quella chioma, non più avrai quell'aria brillante, non più avrai farfalloni amoroso.
Well, after our sunny start this morning, this is our last stop of the day. This is the iconic Spider Rock overlook, a beautiful view, and we were advised to be here tonight for sunset. And sunset isn't far off, but it's completely clouded over. And now we're sort of wishing we came here when the sun was out. But you can't have everything, just got to admire the view.
Gloria militar, alla gloria militar, alla gloria.
And then, next stop, bigger canyon, Grand Canyon. See you there. While moving north had worked for us so far, we didn't want to leave Arizona without a visit to the Kaibab National Forest and a stay at a campsite on the north rim of the Grand Canyon. The journey from the Canyon de Chelly to the Grand Canyon was a spectacular one. But we did experience some difficulty with around 10 to 12 miles to go to the campsite. The problem that we faced was a combination of issues. Number one, the ruts that had been made previously were wider than our wheel tracks. Number two, there was hard ice at the bottom of the ruts, yet the snow at the sides was turning soft and slushy. Number three, there was a camber on the road, which meant that the vehicle kept wanting to slide downhill. And finally, number 4, there was no one else around. Still, it was a beautiful day, and a little exercise wouldn't hurt us, even if it is at over 7,000 feet elevation.
Well, this is not how the day was planned. Got ourselves stuck in the snow up to the axle, dug ourselves out eventually. Got to a dry bit, walked the track, doesn't get any better. So we're deciding to turn round and hopefully get ourselves out. Take 2.
The challenge that we face here is driving back through the bomb site that we created getting unstuck the first time. Just as we thought we would make it, I knew I brought her on this trip for something. There was a lot of huffing and puffing and effing and jeffing, but progress was being made, even if it was painfully slow. Altogether, we had been trying to extricate ourselves from this snowy road for around 3 hours, and we were getting pretty tired. So we were very, very relieved when Martin and Laura, the first people we had seen all morning, turned up in their pickup truck.
Yeah? Oh yeah, I have. Hold on. I've got the car keys.
If, on the off chance, you do watch this video, Martin and Laura, we would both like to say once again, thank you very much.
Well, you made a mess of that. Hope that doesn't happen again, but I'm sure it will.
Once bitten, twice shy, so they say. So, keen to avoid higher elevations, we drove the short distance to the nearby Grand Canyon Parashant National Monument and the Gold Butte National Monument, where we spent a wonderful couple of days relaxing and exploring the area. Despite enjoying some wonderful weather over the previous few days, the forecast for the following day was once again high winds. But bizarrely this time, Death Valley National Park was showing as a low wind area, so we thought we would give it another try. Our journey took us along the extraterrestrial highway, where we did encounter the forecast high winds. We chose to drive into Death Valley along the Big Pine / Death Valley Road, which turned out to be a very scenic road, a very dusty road, but most of all, a very bumpy road. The effects of the bumpy road on previous vehicles could be clearly seen at Crankshaft Crossing. We camped at Mesquite Springs our first night, which meant we were able to start our hike early the following morning at the nearby Ubehebe crater. This huge crater is nearly half a mile in diameter and around 600 feet deep. It was formed, along with smaller other ones nearby, by steam and gas explosions when hot magma rising from the depth of the planet reached groundwater. The intense heat flashed the water into steam, which expanded until the pressure was released as a tremendous explosion. We camped at a higher altitude the following night at the primitive Wild Rose campground, and we took an early morning drive the next morning to see the well-preserved charcoal kilns and some free-roaming mules, both of which are hangovers from the mining days of old. From there, we headed to, yes, you've guessed it, Big Bear. And that, conveniently, brings us back to that good-looking chap again. Before and after. Another job well worth doing. Rotation of 5 tyres, all new brake pads front and rear, greased the nipples on the rear door, new air filter, new fuel filter, oil filter and oil change tomorrow if the new oil arrives today, and top up transfer gearbox, and job's a good one.